Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day in Doctor Who December. Today it's time for something a little bit different. You guys like my ranks? You guys like my ranking? You guys like my polls? Hey, take your mind out of the gutter, but if your mind did go to the gutter, you belong here. So it is time for my top 10 New Who companions. Now, before you guys get all, why is so and so not in the list? I am not including people like Jack, Wilf, Adam. I'm talking consistent companions for this poll. If you want me to do another rank with anyone that has travelled in the TARDIS, then I shall do that. But this is the consistent companions for like a season. Yes. So, please respect everyone's opinions below. We're all going to have different opinions, and that's the whole joy of Doctor Who, is that we do, that we can have conversations about this, and you should always be able to respect someone else's opinion. I also would just like to say that I am on my first ever podcast this week. I am on Galactic Yo-Yo's podcast. If you fancy having a listen, I will not be listening to it because I just can't listen. It's weird. I can do this. I can edit myself back, but I can't listen to myself because I just can't. So, but if you would like to go and check that out, I will. I'll try and leave a link below. But it's all very technical. If you haven't checked out Molly's podcast, then you definitely should. We had a huge discussion about my unpopular opinion. Let me just say that a lot of the podcast is me talking about the Third Doctor. So if you are a fan of the Third Doctor, go and have a listen. And please be nice to me because, yeah, please be nice. Right, let's get on. I was going to say crack on, get on. Let's get on with it. Okay, so in 10th place is Yaz. I feel like Yaz's character has a lot of potential, and I am interested to see where she goes in the next season, because I do feel like we're going to see a lot of growth with her, especially as we're losing Graham and Ryan. I think sometimes when there's that many of you in the TARDIS, it's harder to build bonds with all of them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Yaz has got. I think the actress is amazing, and I think she's had some great moments. But I'm more so excited to see what we get in the future with Yaz, dependent on how long we have her. I feel like this next one might be a bit controversial, but in 9th place, we have Rory. This is a tricky one because the top 10 is so strong. I do just want to say that these top 10, I love all of them, right? I do just want to put that out there. This isn't me saying that Yaz coming last means I don't like her, because it doesn't mean that. It just means that I need to see more of her. Rory, I feel like, was just given a hard deal sometimes. And if Rory didn't have Amy, I think I would have really struggled with the character, because I think he was stronger because Amy was there. But he had some great moments. But I feel like he came with Amy as a bit of a pair, and Amy's character is so strong. So is Rory's, but Amy's just slightly slightly ahead of him, which is why Amy is number 8 for me. They do come as a pair, don't they? I wouldn't be able to put them too far apart in this poll. Amy's character I started to like a lot more the longer she was in it. I found her quite harsh at the start. I didn't like the way she treated Rory, or it came across the way she treated Rory. And actually I think the more she travelled with the Doctor, she started to soften a bit. But actually I almost find her a little bit relatable, because I think a lot of us keep our guard up like that and then just slowly like onions, start to peel away. But Amy is a really strong female character, which Doctor Who is so, so great at. But I couldn't put her any higher than 8 because the next 7 are just really great. In 7th place is Nader. I think he was a breath of fresh air in Doctor Who. I think it was a bit of a risk them casting a character like that. But for me personally, it paid off. I do know for some that it's too much. I really enjoy stupid humour. It can just lighten up a situation, and the 3 of them together, Bill, the Doctor and Nader, just worked perfectly. But actually seeing Nader in serious situations as well, I think he was just written really well. I really enjoyed Matt Lucas in the role. I know there were doubts, but I think there were doubts when Catherine Tate came in, and look at her. I just think Nader was a really lovely, fresh, just a breath of fresh air, and I think the casting was great, and we all love Nader. I wish we'd had Nader a bit longer, to be honest. I just thought he was great, really great. In 6th place is Bill. You can kind of see how I've gone a bit with this. Like, if you look at the seasons, I'm kind of going back. Bill for me is the companion that I feel like I never gave enough of a chance with. That sentence didn't even make sense. What I mean by that is I watched her season once and then left it for a bit, because the problem is when I rewatch Doctor Who, I go back to between series 1 and 4. Typically, that's just naturally where I sit. So I hadn't given her much of a chance, and recently I've started to really try going back and just rewatching series and episodes that I wouldn't stereotypically watch as much. And actually, the seasons I haven't watched as much are the 12th Doctor onwards, just because I've had them for less time as well. Pearl Mackie, I think, is incredible, and again, I would kind of link Bill in a little bit with Donna, in the sense that she's funny, she says it how it is, and actually I feel like with Bill's character, a lot of the time she said things that we would be naturally thinking. I think sometimes with Doctor Who, and I think I mentioned this in the podcast, is that, oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, is that if a guy turned up with a box, right? It's nice to see the emotions behind it a bit. And I feel like we got that with Donna, and I feel like we got that with Bill. When she first stepped in the TARDIS, I think that's probably my favourite. I think that's my favourite moment, when a companion steps in a TARDIS. It's just real, it's authentic, it's funny. Then you've got the touch of Nader there. It's just really great. I do feel like Bill's character should have stayed for longer. I don't know how she would have worked with the 13th Doctor, but Bill is definitely a character that I would have wanted to see again, because I don't think her season is as awful as some people make out, but she just had more potential, which is why sometimes I feel like Bill's character is what I consider sometimes the forgotten character, because I just needed more. And I say this a lot about a lot. I always want more, but I definitely feel with Bill, I could have done with at least another series with her. In 5th place is Rose. Now, I don't know whether some of you will be, how you'll feel about me placing Rose 5th place. Rose with the Doctor, amazing. Rose with Mickey, amazing. Rose with supporting cast, amazing. And I do like Rose, but I feel like she's a character stronger when there's other people with her. And I hope that makes sense, right? If someone said to me, you can watch a whole episode just with Martha, I'd be like, fantastic. If someone said to me, you're going to watch a whole episode just with Rose, I'd be a little bit like, up for it, but a little bit skeptical as to how it's going to work. I think naturally we all feel this kind of a bit of a bond with her just because she was the first companion back with New Who, and she was obviously with 9 and 10. She was great with 9, and actually the more I watch her, the more I prefer her with 9 than I do with 10, because I find with 10 it's just a little bit too romantic. And also I feel like she's got stronger episodes, I think, with the 9th than she does with the 10th. But I am saying this, and again, I just want to reiterate that I do love Rose, but when it came to where to place her in it, 5 just felt like the right place. Right, in 4th place is Clara. Interestingly enough, I didn't realise Clara was such a controversial character. I didn't realise so many of you did not like her. I love Clara. I think she's... okay, she had a lot going on, right? There was a lot going on with the writing with Clara. But Clara herself and her love of travelling in the TARDIS, I loved it. And actually, I preferred Clara with the 11th Doctor. Please tell me if there's anyone out there who agrees, because I've never heard anyone say that before. But I feel like Clara and 11 had so much potential, and then it got cut off, obviously by the delightful Capaldi. But again, I would have wanted more of her in 11, because I think they would have been a force to be reckoned with. And I love episodes like The Bells of St. John. I do. But I like an Earth-based story. If you follow my journey, I love an Earth-based story. But I just really like Clara. And I really like her and Danny Pink. I also think the Dark Water and Death in Heaven double is one of the greatest doubles. I love those episodes. And I don't fully... you know when someone says that they don't like an episode, you're a bit like, okay. That's one of the examples where I'm like, how can you not like it? I love it. I love how dark it is. Jim. I love how dark it is. I like the use of UNIT. I'm a huge Cybermen fan. Oh, so that's probably why I'm a bit partial to it. And what is really interesting is, if it were Daleks, I probably wouldn't feel the same way. But I love the Cybermen, and it was such a shock to me when I watched it that Danny Pink was killed. And I went through all the emotions, and I absolutely love that 2-parter. So I love Clara. I think she had some great episodes, and that's why she's number 4. Right, top 3. 3rd place, Graham. Can we just... I feel like Graham needs to be knighted or something. Like, what an absolute legend. And what actually... Graham is so relatable. And I say this consistently, and I've said it probably like 10 times already in this. I need to watch someone that I relate to. When someone says a comment that I would think or I would say, I'm like, yes, okay, I connect. When you have a character who is... I just like a real human-like character. Graham just says it how it is. He is hilarious. And I am, along with a lot of us, devastated that he is leaving, because justice for Graham. And if Graham is killed off, I do think Graham or Ryan are going to be killed off in the special. I will say that. And then I think, well, no, they can't though, because if one of them was killed off, then they would probably stay in the TARDIS, wouldn't they, to lean on their friends. But I just couldn't imagine the characters of Graham and Ryan leaving. Unless they just decide to have a fresh start. I don't know. Oh, unless Graham's cancer comes back. Oh, gosh. Oh, but I just love Graham, and I really hope he doesn't die, because I will be devastated. In 2nd place, the incredible Martha Jones. Martha, I think, is the most underrated companion to have ever stepped upon the Doctor Who planet. I wish with every ounce of my body they hadn't made it romantic. Martha did not need the Doctor in a romantic sense. Martha is a strong, powerful woman. However, I understand a little bit why they do it, or why they did it, because it's interesting having a really strong female woman showing what love can do to you, and what being in love with someone and them not acknowledging you can do to you. So actually that's interesting, but I just wish there wasn't that her absolute love for the Doctor. I think she didn't need it. She didn't need him. And I just rather it wasn't there. But it is, but it's fine. Series 3 is the strongest series for me. As much as you now will probably all know who my number 1 is. Human Nature and Family of Blood is the greatest 2-parter. Or maybe it just matches with Stolen Earth and Journey's End. But Human Nature and Family of Blood is probably my most watched episodes. I just bloody love it. Smith and Jones, such a great opener. I don't really enjoy the Daleks in Manhattan. I love Gridlock. Oh, just everything with the Master. She just had such a great series, and I love Martha. I love that we had her come back. I would love to see Freema reprise her role in like the 60th or something, or just she would be so good in the next season with Captain Jack coming back. Oh my gosh, she's someone I would love to see again. And I think her then going on to work for UNIT was really, really wonderful, and I think that was such a great move on the writer's part to put her with UNIT, because she's just the epitome of a strong, go-getting woman, matched with some incredible stories. She is number 2 for me. Right, number 1, the one and only Miss Donna Noble. Now, 10 is my Doctor, and I think Donna is my companion. That's when I started really watching the show. Partners in Crime, I remember watching it and I fell in love with the pair. It's the greatest first, I know it's not her first, like the Runaway Bride, but the first like episode with them as companions, it's the greatest one. I love Donna's character. I love the whole scene where she's like, "You're not mating with me, sunshine." So that getting it in straight away that there's no romantic link there. She genuinely wants to travel in the TARDIS. And that's also another quality I love in companions, when they embrace what's about to happen. You know, she knows how lucky she is. She's so grateful to have found the Doctor again. Her family casting is just genius. And she has some incredible stories, and actually she came in at a really crucial series. Turn Left is my favourite episode of all time. I think this whole idea that, I feel like we all say what if, oh god, could you imagine what would have happened? And for them to actually show that, I think is the best decision they ever made. It was just genius. And also seeing Donna with Rose, actually we got to see Donna with so many companions, including like Sarah Jane, Mickey. I just love Donna, and it is devastating that she had her memory wiped. And I, in some way, still hope that we would see her again, even if, right, we just had her like almost just walk past the screen. You know, I'd just love to, I would love in the 60th special, right? Okay, so I think in the 60th they should transition the 13th Doctor to the new Doctor, so we get to meet the new Doctor in the 60th. I think they need to bring back old school companions, even if it was just for like 1 minute clip. You know, it would be really cool for the Doctor to almost do a revisit like he does in The End of Time Part 2. She does. He. It would just be great to see where Donna is, just to see a glimpse at where she is. I just think would be a really, really, if I was the showrunner, that's what I would do. I would pull parts from every aspect, although I'm only up to the 4th Doctor, but I would just pull bits, you know, and just put it all together, just so it's like a nice montage for everyone. So if you're watching, Chris, hire me or listen to my ideas. But yeah, there was never ever going to be anyone else on number 1 for me. It was always going to be Donna, this feisty, yet we get to see her vulnerable side, and someone who just loves travelling with the Doctor. And what's so sad about it is she never wanted to stop travelling with the Doctor, which is what is so devastating about her departure. But Donna is number 1. There you go. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, like I said, please respect each other's opinions. Please respect my opinion. If you do want me to do a top 10, including like Captain Jack and Wilf and all of that lot, then let me know. Let me know. Obviously, I don't think you'll be able to let me know your top 10, but if you want to let me know your top 3, or if you agree with my top 3, yeah. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back tomorrow, obviously with another reaction.